Hey, Tim here, and I want to share this quick video around something that I feel that's something that's held me back quite a lot and holds a lot of people back as well. And it's this concept called perfection. Perfection. How many of you have ever wanted to, or stopped yourself from doing something because you wanted it to be perfect, right? Whether it be putting out a piece of content or putting out something, and you just kept delaying it because you just wanted to be just right, just perfect. Everything had to go the way that you wanted to go. It had to be right on point, and it's something I've dealt with for pretty much most of my life. I think it's definitely helped me back tremendously, because I think when I've tried to be perfect, it's led to frustration, it's led to stress, it's led to anger issues, because if things didn't go perfect, I would get angry, and most things in life don't go perfect. So and I just think about to my tennis career when I was playing tennis, and I wanted to be the perfect tennis player, do every shot perfectly, and which if you're a tennis player, that's not going to happen. But I had that expectation upon myself, and I'd get angry, and it held me back. So, but the main thing I want to share here is, like, in terms of perfection, I was reading this book by, I think her name's Brené Brown, and she wrote a book called Daring Greatly. She was saying how perfectionism is actually not about being a high achiever, but it's actually covering up a sense of low self-worth or low self-esteem, that you're trying to prove something to someone by being perfect. And that really resonated with me. I hope that resonates with you as well. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, that for me, that could be true, where I am trying to make up for something by trying to be perfect. And it relates to definitely being on stage as well, because if you're trying to be perfect on stage, what I've noticed is that the perfect speakers, it's great. It's great to watch, but it almost loses that human element to it by being perfect too much, right? Because as people, we want to see the authentic side. And that's the last video I talked about, is being authentic. And I think being too professional, it loses the human aspect of it, because it's too polished, if you know what I mean. And so, for me, how I overcame perfectionism is a couple things. It was a couple mindset shifts. And the first one was this, is that I think there was like 3 mindset shifts. The first one was, when you first start off, you're gonna suck. Right? There's no doubt about it. You're just gonna blow it. You're gonna suck. You're not gonna be as good as you think you are. So you might as well get into it and just give it the red hot go, right? Because otherwise you're just gonna be stuck in analysis paralysis. You're gonna be stuck in trying to make everything perfect, and it's not gonna work out, and you're just gonna delay. So that's the first thing, is you're gonna suck, right? You're gonna make mistakes. So that's the truth of it. The next thing from that is, I was speaking to a friend, and he went through a tough period. It was in regards to a job, and most people would have quit that job. I said, mate, I'm curious to understand your psychology. Why did you stay in that job? Because you know what? Because for me, it was like, I know that if I stayed in this job, that I had this resolve. That for me, they would either have to fire me or drag me out of the doors in order for me to go. Because I knew that if I stayed in that department and I just implemented, if I just trained, if I just practiced, if I just knew that I was getting better every single day, every single week, that eventually I am going to get there. And guess what? He did, right? Because he was there showing up every single day, practicing, practicing the sales pitch, practicing how he'd handle objections. And so he became quite a weapon at sales. But the reason I share that is, the lesson I got from that is, if you just continue and not stop, and just continue improving, there is no way you can't get to your goal. Like, it's just a certainty that you're going to get to your goals, despite how many failures you have, despite how imperfect you are. It's just, if you stick to it and you keep improving, you keep doing what you need to do, you're going to get there. So that was another mindset shift for me. And then the third one was, I saw this post where, I think it was by Alex Hormozi, where he said, look, in 100 years time, no one's going to remember you. Right? Now, it sounds a bit kind of depressing and a little bit dark, but it's like, no one's going to remember you. You're going to, the house that you bought, other people are going to be living in it. You might be just a figment, not a figment, but you might just be a picture on someone's wall, and they might not even remember who you are, but you're just a picture on the wall. And, and yeah, so that's just me paraphrasing him. But the message I took from that was this. It was like, well, if whatever I do now, in 100 years, no one's going to know about it, right? Or if they do, no one's going to care. So why not just enjoy the moment, live your life, and just do what you want to do, and don't worry about being perfect, because in 100 years, it's not going to really matter. Now, you could look at it from two perspectives. It's like, oh, it's not going to really matter, so why even try? But my perspective is, if it's not going to matter and no one's going to remember it, then give it your absolute fucking best shot, right? Because no one's going to remember it anyway. So might as well just give it everything you got, so that you actually start stepping into and doing what you actually need to do and want to do, right? Rather than being stuck behind the illusion that you have to be perfect. So that's how I take it, and it's just been such a big mindset shift for me, that where it's like, I don't have to be perfect. I don't. I just get started at the end of the day, and do what you want to do without caring about what other people think, because what other people think, they're not going to. It's not going to matter in 100 years' time. So go live your life and just do what you want to do, right? And don't worry about all the judgments and everything. So those have been the biggest mindset shifts for me to overcome this perfectionism. And so I thought I might share that with you, because if you're looking to become that engaging, looking to become that effective communicator, one of the things that held me back was this perfectionism, trying to be perfect. And when I wasn't perfect, and I knew that from the stage, you could tell it, you could feel it in my energy, that I was like, oh man, I screwed up there. And I kept playing it through my mind, like, oh man, I screwed up. And so let go of that. If you screw up, you screw up, right? That's okay. In fact, if you screw up, that shows you're even more human, and people can relate to that. So I've gone on. I hope you found it enjoyable, found you got something out of it, and I'll speak to you guys later. Thanks, bye.